everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be all about baking. Of course, when it's Christmas time, we're going to be doing tons and tons of baking, but this one is going to be all about no bakes. So we have no bake goodies, snacks, any type of stuff like that you would like to serve as like a dessert or an appetizer of what I consider my favorite no bakes to make during the Christmas time. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to get started on are these no-bake cornflake marshmallow cookies. We're going to need a medium saucepan. I'm going to go ahead and melt 4 tablespoons of butter. I'm also going to put in 3/4 a cup of peanut butter. And we're just going to melt that down. So it may take just a couple minutes to do that. And then I'm going to add 10 ounces of marshmallows. If you want to save out a couple ounces of marshmallows to add in later, that is definitely preferred. And then we're going to add 7 cups of cornflakes and then just go ahead and give that a stir until it is well combined. So that may take a couple of minutes to get all that combined as well. I have 1/4 a cup of peanut butter chips. You definitely don't have to add that, but I think it adds a wonderful crunch and texture to it. Also a delicious flavor to it. I love those peanut butter chips. And then I'm just going to get some parchment paper out, put them on my parchment paper. I did a big cookie scoop and just forming these into cookies. And then you don't have to do this, but I just drizzled a little bit of chocolate all over it. The recipe did call for like peanut butter on top. I thought this looked even cuter. And of course, for Christmas time, you can have your kids decorate it and put some sprinkles on it as well. These to me tasted like Rice Krispie treats, just with like the cornflakes in it instead of the Rice Krispies. Definitely recommend. It was really delicious. It had a wonderful chewy texture to it. Highly recommend. All right, next we're going to be making these Rocky Road bars. First, we're going to need 4 tablespoons of butter, and then I have 2 cups of chocolate chips, or about 12 ounces of chocolate chips. And then I put in 1 cup of white chocolate chips. If you have peanut butter or butterscotch, I think that would be really good too. We're just going to put this in the microwave and keep putting it in the microwave in 30-second intervals until it's completely melted. Mine was not melting, and then I kind of altered it and it looked a little funky, but it ended up turning out okay in the end. I also added in 1 cup of mixed nuts. I think almonds would be like the best type of nut to do. I didn't have a lot on hand, so I did like almonds and peanuts. And then also I did 3 cups of marshmallows, and just give that a good stir. The marshmallows do not have to be melted at all. I just kind of stirred it in there together just to get everything combined, and it melted a little bit, but I actually prefer it this way where it's not all completely melted. I'm going to put it in a 9x13 pan, and I'm going to just smooth it out the best that I possibly can. And then I'm going to put a little bit of marshmallows just right on top. I think it just looks really pretty, and I love a good marshmallow flavor right on top. And then I'm going to put this in the refrigerator, or you can put it in the freezer. I just did the refrigerator for about 4 hours. After you take it out of the fridge, this is what it is going to look like. It is delicious. It's kind of a mixture in between fudge and just like a regular, maybe like a cookie bar. So good. I loved this. The texture was phenomenal. It wasn't too hard, wasn't too soft. I really enjoyed this, and the kids really enjoyed it as well. This is something that your kids are going to love, and you probably have all the ingredients on hand anyways, especially if you're doing a lot of Christmas baking. What we're going to do is we're going to make some dipped s'mores. All we need is some graham crackers, this marshmallow fluff, and then some chocolate chips, or I like to do like the melting chocolate is what you can do. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put a little bit of that marshmallow fluff just right onto our graham crackers, and then we're just going to dunk it into some melted chocolate. I love doing milk chocolate. I feel like that just tastes really good. And then that's it. We're just going to dunk them, and then you can put some sprinkles on them later. Or you can just leave them as is. but I love this idea, and the kids were amazed how delicious this was. This is something great that the kids can get involved in and something easy. I had my daughter help me put the marshmallow fluff on the graham crackers, and then my kids decorated them and put the sprinkles on and made them look extra festive. But this is so good, you guys. I had no idea it was going to be this good, and it is so simple to throw together. I know that you and your family are going to love doing it this Christmas season. And then, of course, you can add more or less marshmallow fluff. It is harder to work with the more fluff that you do. So if you put the marshmallow fluff on and then maybe just freeze them and then dip them, I think that would work even better. Next, we're going to be doing the classic no-bake cookies. This is my family's favorite type of no-bake cookie in general. We're going to be putting all this into a medium saucepan. I have a half a cup of butter, 1.5 cups of granulated sugar, and then 1/4 cup of milk. Go ahead and just give that a good stir. And then we're going to add 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, and then give that a good stir as well until it comes to a slight simmer. Next, we're going to add 1/2 cup of peanut butter and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. All right, and then give that another good stir as well till all of that is incorporated and that peanut butter is melted down. And you could definitely add about a pinch of salt to this. And then we're going to add 3 cups of quick oats and just give that a good stir. Take that off the heat and set it off to the side. We're going to line some parchment paper, and then we're going to just put these cookies onto our parchment paper. I just like to do about a big cookie scoop worth. I don't like these cookies super big or anything like that. And then I'm just going to let them sit out to dry. I was kind of worried that they were not drying properly, so I put them in the fridge. But actually, if you just leave them out on the counter for a couple hours, they're going to be completely fine. And they will harden and be more of like a cookie. And here is me just breaking one just to kind of show you that it has a wonderful texture. It's not hard or anything like that. It breaks perfectly. It has a delicious texture to it. These are seriously like grandma's cookies. You cannot go wrong with this recipe. All right, my family loves Haystacks, so here I am making some Haystacks. We have 11 ounces of butterscotch chips we're going to add to a medium mixing bowl. Also, I have 1/2 cup of peanut butter that we're just going to put right on top. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put that in the microwave, and I'm just going to melt it down in 30-second intervals until it's completely melted, and it should have a nice creamy texture that looks just like this. And then I'm going to put in 1 cup of peanuts, which is completely optional. You don't have to add that. I think it adds a wonderful crunch to it on top of the chow mein noodles that we're getting ready to add. I'm going to add 10 ounces of these chow mein noodles. I've actually never cooked or even bought chow mein noodles before, but I was really pleasantly surprised with this one. This was delicious. My family has had this before, but I've never personally made it before. Seriously, so good. I mean, you can't go wrong with butterscotch, honestly. I'm going to get a cookie sheet out, and I'm just going to line it with parchment paper and put these into like cookie forms. They don't have to be super big because these, in my opinion, are pretty rich. The butterscotch chips are just very, very rich. But this is what it'll look like after it's done. It makes about 15 cookies. So delicious. My family gobbled these up, and I feel like just about a day. So good. It's definitely a kid favorite for sure. Next, I'm going to be making this sugar cookie fudge, and I had some serious issues with it, so it didn't turn out right, but it did taste really good. In the end, it was fine. It just didn't look as pretty as how I wanted it to do. So we're going to start off in a medium saucepan, and I'm just going to put in 1 can of condensed milk, and then I'm going to put in 2 cups of white chocolate chips, and I'm just going to stir that down until all the chocolate chips are melted. And I was struggling with it melting all the way, and then it started scorching at the very last minute. I was so upset. I had been stirring, and then I leave for just like 1 minute, and then it scorches. So it really made me mad, but that's okay. And then I have about 1.5 cups of this sugar cookie mix, but I put it in the microwave to get off any of like the bacteria that we don't want. So I was trying to kill the bacteria, and the cookie mix just really clumped together, and so it made it hard to stir all of the fudge together. So I tried to get all the clumps out the best that I could, and then I have like little scorched bits in my fudge as well, so it tasted okay, but you know, it just isn't as pretty. So I just topped it with some sprinkles and really just hope for the best on it. I didn't have high hopes for it, but it actually tasted really good. I put this in the fridge for about 3 to 4 hours, and then took it out, and then I cubed it up and I served it like this. I actually sent it with my husband to give to his work for all of the guys who enjoy, and they all said it was wonderful. It is very, very sweet though. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope that it was a blessing to you and your family as you are baking and creating all the things during Christmas time. If you enjoyed this content, make sure you give me a big thumbs up. Consider subscribing below. I'd love to have you here on my channel. Make sure you check out my website, as it has all the recipes linked in that website for you. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Bye.